Good morning. This is Sudhakar, lecturer in Mechanical Engineering Department from Government Polytechnic, Chegunta. In this video, I will explain about the battery and magneto ignition systems and lubricating systems in IC engines and governing of IC engines. These topics are included in the thermodynamics subject of third semester diploma engineering. I will explain these topics in next PPTs. Okay, discussing one by one the objectives. On completion of this video lesson, you would be able to know the followings. What are the objectives are there? See the one by one. The working of a battery ignition system and the working of magneto ignition system. Then comparison of these both. What are that? Battery ignition system and magneto ignition system. Comparison between them. Methods of lubricating systems in IC engines. Then governing of IC engines. Methods of governing. And last one is the supercharging of IC engines. These are the main objectives of this class. Okay, these are the main objectives of this video lesson. So let us discuss one by one. So first one is a battery ignition system. Okay, and types of ignition systems. First of all, ignition system means ignition system is required for the operations of SI engine because air fuel mixture is ignited by high intensity spark. An ignition system must provide a source of electrical energy, a means of boosting the low voltage from the source, and a means for timing and distributing high voltage to each spark plug. This is the ignition system of SI engine. Already we discussed in four stroke engines. What are the four stroke? Suction, compression, expansion, and exhaust. So this spark ignition is where they required this ignition at just before end of the compression stroke. We can provide the spark. Okay? At that time, this ignition system is required. During the compression stroke, just before end of the compression stroke, we can ignite the mixture. So by providing the spark, so at that situation, we can use this ignition system. Okay, depending on the source of electrical energy, ignition systems are classified as two types. What are that? First one is coil ignition system. It is also called as battery ignition system, and another one is magneto ignition system. Okay. First we discuss the battery ignition systems. Okay. This is the battery ignition system. This figure is the battery ignition system. So what are the parts is there? Battery, ignition switch, ammeter, breaking points, cam, condenser. These all parts are considered as primary circuit, and secondary circuit is consist of the secondary coil, distributor, and spark plugs. These are the secondary circuit. So it consists of primary and secondary circuits. So these are the main parts in the battery ignition system or battery coil ignition system. So now discussing about the ignition system and the main parts. The main parts are battery, ignition coil, and contact breaker, capacitor, and distributor. These are the primary circuit. So we discuss one by one. Hmm. First one is battery. Okay, it supplies current at a low voltage, that is 6 to 12 volts. It means it has low voltage, 6 or 6 12 volts battery. Then ignition coil. This ignition coil transforms the battery voltage from 12 volts to 10,000 volts to produce spark at the spark plug. And next is contact breaker. You know, it breaks low voltage current and causes the coil to produce a high voltage current. And also it controls the timing of spark. And remaining two parts is there, capacitor and distributors. Capacitor means connected in parallel with contact breaker unit, and it protects the contact points from hitting. Next is the distributor. Distributor means it fitted to multi-cylinder engines, and distributor distributes high voltage current to the appropriate spark plug. These are the consist of the primary circuits. Yeah? So already know that the system has a primary circuit and a secondary circuit. So these are parts are the primary consist of the primary circuits. And next is the what are the parts? The primary circuit consists of a battery, ammeter, ignition switch, primary coil, condenser, and breaking points. These are the primary circuits. And the secondary circuit contains the secondary coil. Next, okay, already discussed these are. Once again, primary circuit consists of battery, ignition switch, ammeter, primary coil, contact breaker, and capacitor or condenser. Then next secondary circuit. Secondary circuit consists of secondary coil, distributor, and spark plug. Okay? These are the main parts. And the working of battery, ignition system. One of the primary winding is connected to the positive terminal of battery through ignition switch and ammeter. Okay, once again, one of the primary winding is connected to the positive terminal of the battery through ignition switch and ammeter, and other end to the contact breaker. The contact breaker points are operated by cam. Okay, these contact points operated by the cam. The condenser is connected in parallel. This is the parallel series. Sorry, parallel. The contact breaker points operated by cam, and this the condenser is connected in parallel with contact breaker. The distributor is connected to the one of the secondary winding. Okay, here the distributor. The distributor is connected to one of one end of secondary winding. Okay, when the ignition switch, so now working principle is there. Okay. When the ignition switch is closed, the current starts flowing from battery through the primary circuit and develops magnetic field in a core of coil. When the breaker points are operated by the action of cam, the magnetic field collapses. Okay? It means is that when the ignition switch and the breaker points are closed, a low voltage current flows from the battery through the primary circuit and magnetize the core of the coil. When the breaker points are opened by the action of cam, the primary circuit is broken and the primary current now flows through the condenser and charges the condenser to a voltage much higher than the battery voltage. The condenser then discharges into battery, reversing the direction of primary current and the magnetic field. Due to rapid collapse and reversal of the magnetic field in the core induce a very high voltage, that is about 5000 to 20,000 volts in the secondary winding. This high voltage is led to the proper spark plug by means of rotary distributor. The spark occurs due to discharge of high voltage across the air gap of the spark plug and the charge is ignited. In this battery ignition system, uh, flux produces high voltage in secondary circuit which is fed to contact points of distributor, and this high voltage current produces a spark by jumping across an air gap provided between the electrodes of spark plug. Okay. Here it should be noted that the discharge of condenser by itself does not produce spark but assists the collapse of the magnetic field and prevents arcing at the breaker points. This is about the battery ignition system. This battery coil ignition system is generally used in passenger cars and light trucks. Okay. The firing order is there in ignition system. So it is the sequence in which the fuel is ignited in the cylinders of a multi-cylinder engine. It is adapted to reduce vibrations. In case of four-cylinder engine, the firing order is 1 3 4 2 or 1 3 2 4. In case of six-cylinder engine, the firing order should be 1 4 2 6 3 5 or 1 2 4 6 5 3. This is the order of firing in ignition system. Okay. Next, advantages of battery ignition systems. What are the advantages? Initial cost is low as compared with magnetic system, and it provides better sparks at low speeds and simple in design. And last one is the maintenance cost is also low. These are the advantages of battery ignition systems. And limitations also is there. What are the limitations of battery ignition systems? See the one by one. Limitations of battery ignition system. The system is not used in aero engines due to high weight of battery. The engine cannot be started if the battery is weak. The sparking voltage drops as the speed increases. The breaker points are continuously subjected to wear. This is about the limitations of battery ignition system. So these are the ignition system of SI engine. That is battery ignition. This is about the battery ignition system and advantages, limitations. Okay, I already discussed applications. Are the applications is passenger cars and light trucks. These are applications. So this is about the battery coil ignition system. And another one is magneto ignition system. Okay, another one. This is the magneto ignition system. The magneto ignition system consists of what are the parts is there in primary winding, distributor, plug, coil, secondary winding, rotating magnet, cam, contact breaker, ignition switch, capacitor. These are the main parts of the magneto ignition system. Once again, the magneto ignition system consists of magneto ignition switch, breaker point, condenser, distributor, and spark plug. It is similar in principle to the battery system, except that the battery of the battery ignition system is replaced by the rotating permanent magnet. So here we can use the magnet. In case of battery ignition system, we can use the battery. In this magneto ignition system, we can use the magnet. It has a stationary coil which carries primary and secondary windings. Okay. Once again, what are the it consists of magnet, ignition switch, breaker point, condenser, distributor, and spark plug. It has stationary coil which carries primary and secondary windings. As the magnet turns, that is magnetic field produces and it varies from positive maximum to a negative maximum and back again. The high voltage is induced in the secondary winding with the help of breaker points and condenser. Yeah. Once again, as the magnet turns, it means is that the magnet turns, the direction of the magnet flux of the coil reverses direction. That is, magnetic field produced varies from a positive maximum to a negative maximum and back again. Due to this, a voltage is induced in the primary and secondary windings, but the change of flux is not rapid to induce required voltage to overcome the resistance of the air gap in the spark. The high voltage is induced in secondary winding with the help of breaker points and condenser. When the breaker points are opened by the cam, the condenser is charged. This is followed by rapid discharge of the condenser, which causes very rapid breakdown of magnetic flux. This induces a high voltage in the secondary winding, which is led to the spark plug by the distributor. Okay. The may also have a rotating coil with a stationary permanent magnet. Okay. Magneto-ignition system is mainly used in racing cars, scooters, and motorcycles. Okay, these are the main applications. Then advantages of magneto-ignition systems. Okay, magneto-ignition system advantages. No battery is required and so much no maintenance problem. Okay, in this system there is no use of battery. Okay, maintenance also less in this magneto ignition system, and it occupies less space and design compact design and occupies less space. In this magneto ignition system, efficiency improves as the engine speed increases, and the limitations also is there. What are the limitations of this magneto ignition systems? That is, during starting, quality of spark is poor due to low speed and suitable only for small capacity engines. So these about the limitations of magneto ignition system. And next is the comparison between them. Okay, the comparison of battery and magneto ignition system. Now I explain about the lubrication system of IC engine. What is lubrication? Okay. There are two types is there: splash lubrication and pressure lubrication system. First of all, we discussing the what is the lubrication and functions. So during the operation, the rubbing surfaces of engine parts wears and there will be power loss due to friction. It is necessary to lubricate the engine parts, that is, to introduce lubricants. It means the substance which will reduce the friction between the surfaces which are in contact and in relative motion. The effectiveness of engine lubrication plays an important role in the performance of engine. Some of the functions are uh, to decrease the power required to overcome the friction, thereby increasing the power output, to reduce the wear between rubbing and bearing surfaces so that the engine service life is increased, and other functions are to clean the surface by washing away carbon and metal particles caused by wear, to prevent the flow of gases through a space between piston rings and cylinder walls, and one more function is to reduce the noise. These are the main functions of lubrication. So we need the lubrication of IC engine. In IC engines, there are many parts which are in relative motion and therefore they should be lubricated to reduce friction. The main parts which are lubricated are cylinder walls and piston rings, small end of connecting rod, wrist pin and its bearing, big end of connecting rod, crank pin and its bearing, crankshaft bearings, camshaft bearings, valve gears. Yeah, these are the main engine parts which need to lubrication. For continuous lubrication, oil is supplied to engine parts by some mechanical means. So here the following methods are most commonly used. They are splash lubrication and pressure lubrication systems. So first we discuss about the splash lubrication system. Splash lubrication is employed for small engines. In this case, parts are lubricated by oil through a small projection that is called as dipper at the big end of connecting rod. Once again, this system is employed for small engines, and in this system parts are lubricated by oil thrown by a dipper. Okay. Next, the oil is kept in the crankcase and a certain level is maintained. Okay. The all parts are there is shown in figure clearly. And next, the oil is kept in the crankcase and a certain level is maintained. The dipper provided at the end of a connecting rod drops in the oil, and oil is splashed into the piston and other parts of engine which need lubrication. Oil pockets are provided to catch the splashing oil, and from the pockets the oil will flow to the bearing surfaces through a drill hole. So this is about the flash lubrication. And next one is the pressure lubrication system. What is the pressure lubrication system? So shown in the figure, it consists of the pressure gauge, oil pressure regulator, oil pump, oil strainer, oil sump, and some oil galleries and oil filter. So some these are the parts. The basic components of lubricating system are oil pump, oil strainer, pressure relief valve, oil gallery, oil pressure gauge, oil filter, and return lines. Okay, the relative position of these components you can show clearly in the figure. Okay, I will explain one by one part. First one is oil pump. What is oil pump? It is usually a gear type pump intended to circulate oil under pressure to the engine lubricating system. It is driven by the engine. Next, oil strainer. It is a fine mesh screen provided at the inlet of the oil pump. It prevents dirt passing into engine. Besides oil strainer, an oil filter is used to restore the quality of used oil. And next is the pressure relief valve. What is the pressure relief valve here? It controls the pressure of lubricating oil following through the system. Sorry, it controls the pressure of lubricating oil flowing through the system. Flowing through the system. It is a spring-loaded valve, and the valve is opened when the pressure of oil is excess than the required. So this is about the pressure relief valve. Then gallery. The oil gallery or oil header is the passage through which the lubricating oil from the pump is forced to the various parts of engine. Okay. This is oil gallery and pressure gauge. Pressure gauge is fitted to a lubricating system It records pressure of the oil flowing through the system. Lubricating system is also provided with an oil cooler to hold the oil temperature within the desired limit. Okay, once again discuss these parts. Um, these points we'll discuss again. It is employed for large size engines. The pressure lubrication oil system is employed for large size engines. In this pressure lubrication system, oil is pumped with the help of a gear pump onto main crankshaft, bearing and camshaft. Then holes drilled through crankshaft bearing communicate oil to big end bearing. So already discussed, but to see these points once again. From big end bearing, oil is supplied to small end bearings through the holes drilled inside the connecting rod. The cylinder walls, piston and piston rings are lubricated by oil spray. So this is about the pressure lubricating oil. Sorry, pressure lubricating systems. And next, what are the properties is there? Okay, the properties of lubricating oil. What are the properties? Viscosity, oiliness, flash and fire point, freezing point. So these are the properties of lubricating oils. Let us discuss one by one. The parts of IC engines are lubricated with high quality of lubricating oils. These oils must possess optimum viscosity, high oiliness, good anti-corrosive properties, and high stability. Here, the viscosity is a very important characteristic of lubricating oils. It indicates the ability of oils to flow. An oil with high viscosity is very thick and it is difficulty for it to flow through small clearances, while an oil with too low viscosity flows easily and does not stay in the clearances. In both cases, wear on the rubbing surface is intensified due to insufficient lubrication. The lubricating oil should possess high lubricity, that is oiliness. Here it is called as lubricity or it's also called as oiliness. It indicates the ability of oil to leave an oil skin on the metal surface. For reliable operation of engines, oil must be free from dirt particles and water, and flash and fire points of an oil must be high to eliminate fire hazard in storage and use. Here, flash and fire points means these points are of an oil must be high to eliminate fire hazard in storage and uses. And last one is a freezing point. What is the freezing point? The oil should have low pour point. It's also called as freezing point. It is the temperature at which oil ceases to flow. These are the properties of lubricating oils. And one more specification of lubricating oil. The lubricating oils are specified by SAE. SAE means here Society of Automobile Engineers number. Yeah, the lubricating oil are specified by SAE number. SAE means Society of Automobile Engineers. For example, SAE 40 and SAE 30. It is important to note that SAE 40 oil is thicker, that is more viscous than SAE 30. Thus, higher the number more is the viscosity of oil. So this is the lubricating of IC engines and their properties. Some cues is also prepared. In this case, the first question is: in case of battery ignition system, the efficiency is dash as the speed it decreases. So, what is the answer? Guess it. The options are: A increases, B decreases, C remains constant, and last one is a none of the above. Okay, what is the answer? The answer is decreases. It means is that in case of battery ignition system, the efficiency is decreases as the speed decreases. And our next topic is governing. What is governing? Process of maintaining engine speed constant by changing fuel supply according to load variation. This is called as governing. So we'll explain clearly. If the engine runs at a constant flow rate of fuel, engine will speed up when the load decreases and will slow down when the load increases. Okay? Once again, if the engine runs at a constant flow rate of fuel, engine will speed up when the load decreases and will slow down when the load increases. Got it? To run the engine at a steady speed, the flow of the fuel must vary in such a way that the power developed is just equal to the equal to that needed at the desired speed. Right? So now definition, observe here. What is the definition of governing? Okay, the process of controlling the speed of the engine by adjusting the fuel supply is called governing. So here this process is called as governing, and the device used for controlling the speed automatically, that device is called as governor. Okay, got it? The process of controlling the speed of the engine by adjusting the fuel supply is called as governing, and the device used for controlling the speed automatically is called as governor. No? This is the governing definition. And next, what are the methods of governings? There are four methods are there. What is one there? What are there? First one is hit and miss type governing. Second one is quality governing. Third, quantity governing, and combined method of governing. Okay, let we discuss one by one. First one is hit and miss type governing. Okay, first see the all points. In this, the supply of fuel is stopped for one or more cycles when the speed of engine increases. Once the supply is cut off, engine performs ideal cycle, which will reduce the engine speed. In this, a large fluctuation of speed takes place in the ideal cycle, which need a heavy flywheel. This method is suitable for small gas or oil engines. Once again, this method, the supply of fuel is stopped for one or more cycles when the speed of engine increases. Once the supply of is cut off, engine performance ideal cycles which will reduce the engine speed. Okay. So this is the hit and miss type governing. So it consists of valves, cylinder, valve spindle, springs, valve seat, fulcrum point A, and vertical rod A, and cam B, and peaker point. So this is the here in this hit and miss type governing. The also called a centrifugal governor is used, and two balls are there, governor balls. Okay, one by one I will discussing. So in this, the vertical rod A oscillates around the fulcrum O, okay, with the rotation of cam B. Under normal speed, with cam rotation, the rod A oscillates and peaker C hit the valve spindle. Then, so the at the time that the valve is moved in and the fuel is supplied to the engine. When the speed is more, ball of centrifugal governor move at high speed and the peaker is rises up. So it will miss. It means miss the spindle. Okay. Now, if cam rotates rod A oscillates, but peaker will miss the spindle as it is out of the line with the valve spindle. So what happens then? The valves does not move and the fuel supply is cut off. Okay, got it? Because the governor will move at a high speed and the peaker rises up. So the peaker will miss the spindle. Okay? That's why the fuel supply is cut off. So that is about the hit and miss type governing. And next one is quality governing. What is the quality governing? Generally, this method is employed for high-speed diesel engines, that is compression ignition engines. In this method, the quality of fuel supplied is varied by altering the fuel air-fuel ratio. For quality governing, the method of air drawn into the cylinder is constant, but the supply of fuel varies. Thus, the quality of mixture is varied. In this governing system, the quality of mixture is varied. Okay, once again, see the points. A control valve is fitted in the fuel deliver pipe, which control the quality of fuel to be mixed in the charge. The movement of control valve is regulated by the centrifugal governor through the rack and pinion arrangement. And another one is quantity governing. What is the quantity governing? What is quantity governing? Quantity governing method is employed in spark ignition engines, that is petrol engine or gas engines also. In this method, the quality, that is air fuel ratio of fuel, is not altered, but the quantity of mixture supplied to the engine varied by regulating the throttle valve. It is simple, but combustion of fuel is not effective, thereby the thermal efficiency is reduced. Okay, got it clearly. Once again, the show the all points. Once again, in this system, quality of charge is kept constant, that is air fuel ratio, and the quality of mixture supplied to the engine cylinder is varied by means of throttle valve. The throttle valve is regulated by the centrifugal governor through the linkage. So this figure is the quality of governing. Okay? This is the quality governing. Quantity governing. This is this is about the next one is quantity governing. If the load increases, the speed of the engine is reduced, more quantity of charge is admitted into the cylinder and speed brought back into rated valve. This regulation is affected throttle valve operated by centrifugal governor. This method is used for petrol engines. So that is the quantity governing. So next is the combined method of governing. What is the combined method? It is the combination of the quality and quantity governing methods. The disadvantage in each of the governing method can be eliminated in this combined method. Okay. Once again, this method is of both quality and quantity governings. Valve gear mechanism is more complicated as both quality as well as quantity are to be varied. So I also prepared the cues here. In this cues, first question is in the hit and miss method of governing, large fluctuation of speed takes place, which needs what is the answer? Smaller flywheel, heavier flywheel, medium size flywheel, or none of the above. So here the answer is heavier flywheel. Okay, I already discussed. Okay, hit and miss type method is simple, but large fluctuation of speed takes place in the ideal cycle. So which needs a heavy flywheel. Okay? So this method is suitable for only small gas or oil engines. And one more question in that case is the quality method of governing is employed for quality method is employed for the answer is high speed diesel engines. Okay, the quality method of governing is employed for high speed diesel engines only. Yeah, not in SI engine, gaseous engine. Okay, this is employed for only for high speed diesel engines. This is about the engine governing systems. Next, we will discussing about the supercharging of IC engines. It is a supercharging of IC engines. Here, supercharging or boosting, it is also called as boosting, is the process of increasing the pressure of air above the atmosphere pressure before entering the cylinder. Okay? It increases the density of the charge induced into the engine cylinder and usually done with the help of compressor or blower, that is called a supercharger. The power required to drive the supercharger is usually obtained from the engine output. Okay, from the engine output. Thus, the sum of the gain in power due to supercharging is utilized for driving the supercharger. The supercharging increases the tendency to detonation in case of SI engines and decreases the same in CI engines. Uh, okay, this is about the supercharging. So some objectives are there. What are the objectives here? To reduce the weight to power ratio in aircraft engines, to maintain power of aircraft engines at high altitude where less oxygen is available for combustion, and to reduce space occupied by engines to increase the power output of an engine. So these are the main objectives. So once again, the objectives of superchargings are to increase the power output of the engine and reduce the engine size and weight. To and supercharging objectives are one more two objectives are there, to increase the volumetric efficiency of the engine and also to provide a better mixing and also even distribution of the charge in the engine cylinder. So I also prepared the cues for this topic. In this cues, the first question is the supercharging dash the power developed by the engine. So options: A has no effect on, B increases, C decreases, D none of the above. So what is the answer? Increases. Okay. Supercharging increases the power developed by the engine. And one more question: the quantity method of governing is employed for A. SI engine, B. High speed diesel engine, C. Low speed diesel engine, D. None of the above. So here the answer is SI engine. Okay, the quantity method of governing is employed for SI engine, not for high speed diesel engine and not for low speed diesel engines. So it is a quantity method of governing is employed for SI engine. Okay, this is about the system. In this lecture, in this video, I covered all these objectives. Okay, what are that? The working of battery ignition system and magneto ignition system, comparison between them, and methods of lubricating systems and governing system and method of governing and supercharging of IC engines. All these are I explained clearly. One explained. So this today topic. Yeah. Thank you for watching this video. Yeah, thanks a lot.